Hey dudes and dudettes, I'm Shell, and when I'm not catching waves, I'm catching sweet, sweet dividends. Now, I've been around for 75 years. I've seen bull markets, bear markets, and everything in between. I watched the dot-com bubble inflate like a blowfish and pop just as fast. I watched Hare, my buddy, day trade his way through 3 different can't-miss crypto coins in a single afternoon. Yeah, that was just last Tuesday. But today we're not talking about tickers, we're not talking about charts, we're talking about the mind. Specifically, we're talking about one of the most important books I've ever read in my 7.5 decades on this planet. Morgan Housel's The Psychology of Money. I've read a lot of books in 75 years, a lot. I read slow, I'm a turtle, it's on brand, but I retain everything. And this one hit different. So today, I'm breaking down my 6 favorite lessons from this masterpiece, and why each one of them will do more for your financial future than any hot stock tip Hare texts you at 2 a.m. All right, dudes, lesson 1. No one's crazy. Your money story is your money story. Housel opens this whole book with a deceptively simple idea, and I want you to really sit with it. He says that everyone comes to money with a completely different set of life experiences. The decade you were born, the family you grew up in, whether money was something that was talked about at the dinner table. I grew up in a generation where you put money in a savings account and you left it there. That was wealth. My pal Hare grew up watching tech bros become billionaires overnight and thinks that's just how money works. Neither of us is crazy, we're just shaped by what we saw. And here's why this matters for you. Before you judge someone else's financial decisions, before you judge your own, understand that everyone is playing the game with different rules in their head. Show a little grace, especially to yourself. Slow, steady, compassionate. Lesson 2, luck and risk are siblings, respect both. This one I really want Hare to hear. He never does, but I try. Housel dedicates a whole chapter to the idea that luck and risk are 2 sides of the same coin, and we are terrible at acknowledging either one. When something goes well, when Hare catches a meme stock on the way up and makes a quick 40%, he calls it skill. Genius even. I've heard him use the word genius about himself multiple times. When something goes badly, it's bad luck. The market was manipulated, the timing was off, somebody on Reddit lied to him. But Housel points to Bill Gates as a fascinating example. Bill Gates attended one of the only high schools in the entire country that had a computer in 1968, one of the only ones. Was Bill Gates brilliant? Absolutely. Did extraordinary luck play a role in him becoming the richest person on Earth? Also yes. Yeah, both things are true. For us as investors, this means don't look at someone who got rich fast and assume you can reverse engineer their moves. The luck component is invisible. You only see the outcome. What you can control is the system. The process, the slow, beautiful, boring, consistent process. Trust the process, dudes. Lesson 3, getting wealthy and staying wealthy are 2 different skills. This one is maybe the most underrated idea in the whole book, and I've seen it play out in real life. Getting wealthy and staying wealthy are completely different skill sets, and the finance world spends about 95% of its time on the first. I've watched people, brilliant people, build real wealth and then lose it. Not because they weren't smart, but because they kept playing offense when it was time to play defense. They couldn't shift gears. For me, my whole thing is dividends. Consistent, boring, beautiful dividends from companies that have been paying for decades. That's not a get-rich strategy. That's a stay-rich strategy. A become rich slowly and then stay there strategy. Housel calls this surviving. And survival, compounding, and time are basically the holy grail of building real wealth. Here's the thing about turtles, and I say this with full self-awareness. We are built for survival. I have a shell, literally. It exists to protect what's inside. Your financial shell, that's your margin of safety, your emergency fund, your diversification, your willingness to say I don't need to squeeze every last dollar out of this position. Protect the shell, dudes. Lesson 4, compounding is boring. That's the point. My personal favorite, my ride or die. I want to tell you something about Warren Buffett that Housel includes in this book that just breaks my brain every time. Ready? Warren Buffett's net worth is $84.5 billion. Of that, $84.2 billion was accumulated after his 50th birthday. $81.5 billion came after he qualified for Social Security in his mid-60s. I'll give you a moment. Warren Buffett didn't become Warren Buffett because he had the best returns. He became him because he started early and stayed consistent. He let time do the heavy lifting. This is why I have absolutely no patience for the I need to make it fast mindset. I hear it all the time. I've heard Hare say it. I've read it in the comments. I'm 28, I don't have time to invest slowly. Friend, you're 28, you have so much time it should be illegal. Compounding doesn't care about being exciting. It cares about being uninterrupted. Every time you panic sell, every time you chase a hot sector, you interrupt the compounding. You reset the clock. I am 75 years old. I have been letting my dividend income compound since before some of your parents were born. And let me tell you something, it adds up. Be boring, be consistent, be a turtle about it. Lesson 5. The price of wealth is uncertainty, and you have to be willing to pay it. Housel says that market volatility, the ups, the downs, the moments where your portfolio is down 30%, that's not a penalty. It's a fee. A fine is what you pay when you did something wrong. A fee is what you pay to get into something valuable. If you see a market crash as a fine, you will panic. You'll sell. You'll try to avoid the pain. But if you see it as the fee, the cost of admission to the greatest wealth-building machine in human history, suddenly it looks different. You just pay it. I've paid that fee many, many times. In 75 years, you go through a few market cycles, and the investors who paid the fee came out wealthier. Hare does not love this lesson. He prefers to try to time the market. How's that working out, Hare? I love the guy. I do. Lesson 6. Nobody's looking at you. They're looking at the car. I couldn't leave this one out. Housel talks about seeing someone driving an expensive sports car, and he asks you to be honest about what you actually think. You don't think, wow, that guy's cool. You think, wow, if I had that car, people would think I'm cool. Nobody is thinking about the driver. That is the entire trap of lifestyle inflation. You buy the thing to impress people who are too busy thinking about themselves to be impressed by you. Don't get me wrong, as a turtle, a slow turtle, I dream about riding by Hare in my Lamborghini, giving him a wink as I blaze by in a ball of glory. Hare just bought a convertible, by the way. Red, very fast. I didn't say anything. I just nodded slowly, as I do. I'm a turtle, dudes. I have been carrying my house on my back for 75 years, and I've never felt the need to upgrade it to impress anyone. Real wealth is what you don't see. It's the dividend reinvestment quietly compounding. It's the financial security that lets you sleep at night. The flashy gear is just an expensive way to ask strangers for validation from people who are only looking at the car, not at you. Build the invisible wealth, dudes. It's the only kind that actually matters. So there you have it, dudes and dudettes, 6 lessons from the psychology of money that have genuinely shaped how I think. Your biases shape you. Luck is real. Keeping wealth is a skill. Compounding is magic. Volatility is a fee, and nobody cares about the car. Go get this book. Read it slow. It's one of those rare finance books with almost no math that will do more for your returns than any spreadsheet. Share this video with someone who needs to hear it. Maybe someone who rhymes with Hare. Maybe someone who just bought a red convertible. Just a thought. If this was helpful, hit subscribe. New videos every week, and as always, remember, slow and steady wins the race.